Hey, we have got, hey.
Stop yelling at me.
Hey, we've got a lot of live shows coming up. Do you want to come see us live?
Not if you're going to shout at me.
It's going to be, we got 3 shows at the end of July, and we got another show at the end of August at PAX Prime. If you want to get all the details and find out how you can see us, wehaveconcerns.com/live. Hey,
Stop it.
Mini Mac makes me think that there's a regular Mac and a Maxi Mac.
You don't think that Little Mac makes you think there's a regular size
No,
Mac?
he's just a little guy. He's a little guy against all odds. He's Little Mac.
But I feel like Little Mac implies that there's a Big Mac. There is a Big Mac.
Don't even. We haven't even started. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Hey, speaking of Big Macs, were you ever a picky eater as a kid?
Actually, no. I was a really adventurous eater. One of the things that
You would like go out into the outdoors.
I would go into the jungles.
Yeah, and you would
of South America.
Armed only with a machete.
Yeah. See a bug? What is that bug? Eat it. See a plant? What's that plant? Eat it.
That toddler is eating everything in this jungle.
And adorably tripping over his own feet, which can be dangerous here in the jungle.
If only there were YouTube back then. We would have seen.
No,
that.
I was a very adventurous eater, and actually one of the things that I dislike about being a vegetarian now is I don't get to be as adventurous as I once was.
Well, there's some crazy ass plants.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy as like eat this fucking thing's eye.
Well, I think from that's true, but I
Eat
think
an eye. It's like, what are you?
but that's not made of plants.
Try this particular kind of corn you've never had before. It's weird corn.
Well,
I don't know.
I think from a kid's perspective, vegetables are the scarier thing. Like they'll have eyeballs all day long. That sounds fun, but they don't want to eat broccoli.
I think it depends on the culture. But yeah, my cousins now. My cousins are the most notoriously picky eaters in the world. They got
Really?
This,
They got awarded that?
They
They did a survey of the entire world.
Yes. These kids would only eat, are you ready?
Yeah.
Chicken fingers, hot dogs with the skin removed.
What the? You can't even remove the skin of a hot dog.
Yeah,
How does one even do that? With a peeler? Some sort of peeler?
Some sort of peeler. My grandmother would do it. She would cut the skin
You
off
have
the
some
hot
sort
dog.
of naked hot dog? Some sort
And-
of sad assholes and lips looking hot dog?
And French fries. I believe French fries were on it. But those were the 3 things that they would eat. They would not eat anything else.
That sounds like bad parenting.
It was, well, his
Did
dad.
I just insult your family?
Well, but my uncle was equally notorious as a kid for being a picky eater. Like, my grandmother would have to strain his chicken soup multiple times.
What?
So there was literally nothing. The soup had to be
wanted
clear.
chicken broth?
Like a beautiful lake at sunrise. Like, there could be nothing in it.
That sounds like a horrible marriage to be a part of.
Sure. Who knows? Once again, stop fucking disparaging my family. I'm just talking about their eating.
I'm just saying in the abstract.
Yeah. So I knew a lot of kids that were picky eaters. Sure.
I went to the winter ball my senior year with a girl who is very lovely. I still am friends with her to this day. But she, I remember she ordered, when we went to the restaurant, we went to this Italian restaurant, and she ordered spaghetti, hold the sauce, hold everything, just give me warm noodles. And I went, what the fuck?
And that's when you realized that your date for the winter ball was 3 toddlers on each other's shoulders in a trench coat.
That trench coat was very flattering, I have to say. And they danced like a dream.
Just noodles and apple juice.
Gretchen, it's weird that you said that from your stomach. Like, it seemed like it actually came from your stomach instead of from your mouth face.
You look very handsome.
Oh, well, thank you, mouth face. Gretchen, it's nice when the words actually come from your face. Oh. Don't eat your hand. No, the food's going to be here soon. Oh, you're dribbling. You're dribbling on a little bit on yourself.
Such a gentleman.
You're lucky you dance like a dream. I'm just saying. You are a vision in that trench coat. Anyway, so here's an article in Science of Us that talks about an attempt at scientists to figure out what the heck is up with kids who are picky eaters? And they observed 170.
Science. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's how they do science. Pretty sure. They observed 170 2 to 4-year-olds and recorded their mealtime battles with the parents about what they would or wouldn't eat. And they decided to categorize the different varieties of picky eater.
So there are classifications now.
According to this, they are classifications now. So you want to hear them? These are 4 different categories.
I'm going to guess one is texture. People like kids who hate specific textures.
They call those sensory dependent eaters.
Okay.
So textures or smells, they do not like. My wife is like this. She hates tomatoes because of the texture of a tomato.
Me too. I don't like anything slimy. I don't like the texture of a tomato.
Tomatoes are delicious and amazing.
Fucking slime.
They're wonderful. Well, you'll eat tomato sauce though, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Because it doesn't have the texture of a fucking tomato.
Well,
I think the most things that people hate are due to texture and not taste itself.
Well, that puts you in the sensory dependent eater category. There's also the preferential eater. That's somebody who rejects anything that's unfamiliar. So if you haven't had it before, I don't like it.
Like my cousins.
Which seems like a closed loop. Like that's a how do you ever get out of that?
You wind up being that guy who was on Vice a couple weeks ago that ate nothing but cheese pizza for 20 years. Yeah.
Did he then die?
No, he's fine.
Really?
Yeah, he's perfectly healthy.
I bet his stools are not pleasant to
pass. Well, they didn't go into his stools, but they gave him a clean bill of health.
Okay. All right, Vice. I guess you're doing some reporting on the cheese pizza guy.
Vice is great because half the time it's like, we're going to get to the bottom of what the fuck is going on with Russia. We talked to Vladimir Putin and President Obama, and we got them to answer things that they haven't answered for anybody else. And then the other one is like, I fucked everyone. That's your headline? Yeah, that's the headline. I fucked everyone.
Yeah.
And nothing?
Want
to hear what it's like to fuck everyone?
That's the equivalent of some vegetables on your plate and then some sugar to get them down, right?
Oh, Vice is real good at that.
Yeah, it's a spoonful of sugar to get the actual news down your palate. So here's another one, another classification. Behavioral responders. This is people who freak out when their food isn't prepared the way they want it to be.
Oh, okay. I actually did have a little bit of that when I was a kid.
Okay.
Specifically for sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. If they were cut straight instead of diagonal, I would not eat them.
I call that being a dick.
I said they would. I thought as a kid, I was like, they taste different. I can taste the difference. There's something that tastes different about them.
The diagonal. Why can't I say diagonal? What is the word?
Oh my God.
I lost the ability to
You're
talk.
3 toddlers in a trench coat. Gretchen.
I love you. I've always loved you.
Oh my God, Gretchen.
Can we dance?
Yeah.
I want to dance real nice. Shush down there.
Only one of them grew up. That's what I like about that. Only the top part of Gretchen grew up. The other 2 are stuck, not only supporting the weight of an adult woman, but are also still toddlers that want to dance.
She's still sitting on their shoulders. Now she's like 7 feet tall.
And she shouldn't do that. It's bad for the children. That's probably why they didn't grow.
It's all she knows, Anthony. It's all she knows.
They were developmentally stunted by always being inside the trench coat. And now they depend on her. It's the only way they can live. Go on.
How else will they get nutrients?
So
you actually thought it tasted different.
Situational eater. Yeah, that was me. I genuinely believed that if you cut it lengthwise, there's something about having the multiple corners and the amount of crust and just like the way I thought there was some sort of a surface tension to the bread. Like
people
I really
let
thought
you get away with this? Were you indulged?
My mother was not particularly indulgent of it. She was like, no, eat it, and next time I'll cut it diagonally. I was like, I don't want to eat it. She's like, doesn't matter because that's the sandwich. Next time I'll cut it diagonally if that's the way you want it, and never do this at somebody else's house.
Exactly.
At somebody else's house, you eat the sandwich the way they like it. Right. But I genuinely would have a miserable time eating sandwiches at other people's houses if they were cut straight. I would just be like, ugh. And like the other parents would be like, yeah, he didn't really eat much. I guess he wasn't hungry. And my mom would be like, fucking just eat the sandwich.
Fucking angles, man.
Yeah.
So the last category is this, I guess, a kind of a catch-all. It says general perfectionists who may have a variety of idiosyncratic requirements.
That just sounds like they got lazy and didn't want to categorize anybody anymore.
Exactly. It's like, and then everybody else is also weird.
And that kid's just dumb and strange. That's a strange, dumb kid.
You don't want to eat stuff. There's not really any reason for it.
Man, we ran a study on your kid.
Yes.
It's fucking weird.
And?
No, I said he's fucking weird. We're not spending any more time on him because he's a weirdo.
Oh. Is it because he always is in that trench coat underneath that grown woman?
It's very strange. And it's completely unrelated to the test. I don't understand why the grown woman came in. I have to do this for them. It's the only life they know.
This one, though, is me. The idiosyncratic requirements. I was the kid that wouldn't let the food
You're
touch.
a general weirdo?
General weirdo.
Okay.
I used to be major weirdo, but I got promoted.
No.
General weirdo.
No.
I don't even know if general is above major. It is, right?
General is above major, but that's
So,
not
there
what
you go.
this is about. This is about...
That was your issue with it, right? Was that I may have gotten the military promotion sequence incorrectly?
This is about you specifically exercising your dad joke to make me angry, and not because you even think it's a good joke.
No, it was not a good joke. I only said it because I can. That was really only reason. And because people depend on me for that, you know?
You're a folk hero is what you're saying. You're doing it for the people.
Those are your words, not mine. I wouldn't. I'm merely a vessel, Anthony. I'm a vessel for a hashtag / movement of people.
You're fucking something. Go on.
Anyway, I was one of those guys. I was a kid. I would eat anything. I mean, Italian. We would freaking eat anything. I would eat anything, but I wouldn't want the food to touch.
Italians the Italian part of my family is the same way, where it's just like, hey, eat your fucking tongue bone.
Oh my God, we had so much tongue bone.
Like what? Like it's all this weird shit. It's like
my grandfather actually loved tongue and tripe. Did you ever have tripe?
Oh
when you were
God,
a kid?
yeah, tripe.
If people don't know what tripe is, it's the lining of a cow's stomach, and it's really good.
Yeah. Italians are just like, what the fuck is that? Did that come from inside an animal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in a bechamel.
We're not gonna waste it.
No.
I ain't gonna waste it. Let's finish it.
I'm fucking hungry. That looks like it'll cook.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm hungry. It's that I just am not hungry.
Ever. Now eat your tongue bone.
Now eat your tongue bone.
So yeah, you were an adventurous eater, but you had requirements for the way the food was
couldn't
prepared.
touch. I couldn't have things touch.
You were one of those.
That's how I was, and I'm still a little bit that way.
You were like LL
stringent,
Cool J in Toys.
That is a reference that I do not in Toys.
Yeah, the movie Toys with Robin Williams. LL Cool J was his adopted brother who had a
That is
thing
a
about
deep
food
cut,
touching.
Anthony
And he was
Carboni.
like, Toys is one of my favorite movies.
It's a deep cut.
He was like, I'm a military man. I need a military meal. I got my peas invading my mashed potatoes. I got the gravy coming in over the. Like, he gave a whole thing about his food touching.
I guarantee you, this is the only podcast you'll listen to where someone will quote the movie Toys.
Except for my Toys fan cast.
Well, that of course, obviously.
Called The Closing of the Year. Named after the title track from the Toys soundtrack.
Amazing.
Come on in. We do
subscribe to that on iTunes.
We do it 4 times a week. We never run out of We never run out of stuff. It's surprising. We never run out of stuff. It's more about the Toys community now than it is about the movie.
Yeah, well, you have to expand your scope when you talk about toys that often.
But no, so you had a thing about food touching.
Yeah.
I actually, the more we talk about this, the more I realize my idiosyncrasies about eating, the more I remember them.
Yeah.
I am one of the people who, if I have 4 things on my plate, I will eat all of my least favorite.
Me too.
Then my second least
me
favorite.
Too.
Going all the way up to my favorite thing on the plate.
Definitely.
Because then it's all fucking...
It's the best. And the last thing you taste is the best thing you taste.
Literally all gravy.
That, by the way, is a dad joke. Sorry.
Is it?
Yes,
Is it?
But it was a glorious one.
Felt funny, which is why I don't think it was.
No, it was. It definitely was. But I loved it, and it's also true for me. But I was very much that kid who had. Like, I did that with my Halloween candy. Like, I would eat all the crappy Halloween candy and save the best. It was always like, and I'm still that way with food.
Just like, all right, fine, I'm going to eat all these good and plenties, and then I'm going to eat all those, like, weird blue mints
Yeah, and the
weird
Smarties. Fuck the Smarties.
Fuck
I don't want to eat
Smarties. I
those.
guess I'm
will.
gonna eat them all.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna eat them all.
But
Thanks.
I'm saving my full-size Snicker bar and my Three Musketeers until the end.
I would get mad at people for giving me bad candy, not because it was bad candy and it was a waste, but because I knew that the more bad candy I had, the more I had to front load eating terrible candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little obsessive.
It's a little OCD, and it's indicative of me having these weird rules in my life. I always do that. I always have weird rules for myself. But I'm still a little bit that way. I definitely still eat the worst stuff on my plate first, and I'll eat my vegetables first to get them out of the way. But I'm a little less stringent about things touching. I used to be like, if it touched another thing, it would weird me out and mess me up. And now I'm not so much that way. I can pile up my Thanksgiving plate and have stuff touch each other.
So we have our sensory.
Yeah.
We have our idiosyncratic people, our people with rules.
Yeah, preferential.
We have preferential.
And then that's the unfamiliar people. And then behavioral, which is the food preparation people.
Okay. So now we have all of these categories.
Yep.
What do we do about it? How do we stop these kids from being picky eaters?
They're saying that this is step one, and they say in the article, eventually they want to come up with strategies about how to talk to each of them, which I think my parents actually figured out, which was eat your meal. You don't get up from this table until you finish your food.
Why don't you shut up and eat it, and the faster you eat it, the faster you'll be done with it, and it won't be unpleasant anymore. And let me tell you something. Don't you think that contributed to why we eat the shittiest thing on our plate first?
Yeah.
Don't you think kind of a strategy for dealing with it, but also kind of reinforcing the behavior?
Maybe. Because it was definitely a strategy to deal with it, but do you think it was reinforcing the behavior?
I think so, because it was kind of like, all right, if I just get this part out of the way, I can be finished with it and be done with it.
That's true.
And then I'm that much closer to getting up and away from this table. So maybe we do need some new strategies. But I'll tell you this, what a waste of fucking time to not come up with any before you publish.
They came up with some sweet categories, bro.
I guess.
Some sweet cats, man. If you're making an Excel spreadsheet, you need some categories.
If you have 170 to 200 children.
Yeah.
And you need to categorize.
They're sending this out to orphanages and child shelters of various kinds. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Who knows how many people could use these categories?
That weird colony that looks like it's just babies self-governing.
Yes.
And there's that one tall baby that rules them.
Super tall lady who's clearly a full-grown lady, but she's 7 feet tall. And she, even though it's really hot out, she's always in that trench coat. I bet she could use this study really well.
Help her govern and rule her tiny baby city. Have you guys ever seen that?
She dances like a dream. I'm telling you. She is so elegant.
We would love to know what your eating idiosyncrasies are.
Oh, I would be fascinated by that. Do you fit into any one of these categories, or is there a new category?
I'm predominantly sensory with a little bit of that idiosyncratic.
Yeah.
I think that's where I lay.
I think I'm all idiosyncratic because everything else I'll just shovel into my maw, my gaping maw. Feed me.
Jeff's been just eating a bag of tongue bones.
Dude, these tongue bones are so good. You should try these.
No, thanks.
You know how many animals died to get all these tongue bones?
Well, at least one animal per tongue bone.
Well, I mean, if you want to break it down mathematically.
So let us know which category you fit into. You can tweet that to us with the hashtag tonguebone. I'm at acarbone.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And hey, there were a couple dad jokes in this episode.
Yeah, you made one of them.
And I did not like it.
You loved it.
No, I didn't.
Your favorite part was that.
Very much no dad jokes.
It is idiosyncratic that way.
But if you would like to choose a side in the dad joke, no dad joke fight.
Ooh, there's a good way to do it.
You head to wehaveconcerns.com/shop.
Yeah, buy yourself a shirt.
Yeah, buy a no dad jokes t-shirt.
Or, a team dad joke t-shirt, which would show your loyalty to the team.
I don't see why anybody would ever want to do that. Just buy the no dad jokes one. I don't think we even print the team dad joke one anymore.
Pretty sure we do. I get a lot of
because it was so
Twitter
unpopular.
Pictures. I get a lot
people
of
didn't
pictures
like
of
it.
People
Don't like dad jokes generally, and people understand not to wear that shirt because it's wrong.